Hi, and welcome to my first ever devlog video. In this video series, I want to showcase and explain everything that's gonna happen in this action sci-fi game I'm currently working on. It doesn't really function as a real game. It's still in its early prototypic stage as of the time, but I would still love to be making these devlog videos as often as possible, so I can not only stay motivated but also share what I'm doing to anyone that's interested and understand what I need to change and add to make the game better by getting feedback from you, you, the viewer. Though the game doesn't have a name yet, so if you have any suggestions, I'm totally open for them. The game is basically, as you can tell, about a dude who can wall run, but that isn't the whole thing though. The idea is about a guy who has the ability to jump unimaginable heights from the ground with his cool bionic legs. And I know you're probably asking, where are the bionic legs? Well, this is just a placeholder model that I got from the Unity asset store. In fact, everything you see are all placeholders. So, like I was saying, this guy has the ability to jump really high. It's his main superpower. The wall running you're seeing right now is it's just like an additional movement. When you're jumping high cities and you wanna like cruise a building or something, you have to wall run. So it's just like an additional movement. Yeah, it's just like, let's just say something you do to get by the city. Yeah, I'm gonna be implementing the city in the future. It's gonna be set in an open world, so I'm pretty sure you guys won't want to miss that. Yeah. So like I was saying, there's gonna be more to it than just wall running. There's gonna be ledge grabbing, wall climbing, probably anything involving parkour. It's just gonna be really cool. Well, I'm currently developing this game in Unity and using Visual Studio to write my scripts, which are in C#. And since you're looking at the current stage or status of the game, why don't we do a little time travel and go back to when I started prototyping the game and how I got to where I am today. So in case you don't know, this is just gonna be an introduction video and I'm not really gonna do much developing, but in the future episodes we'll be moving on from where we are right now and progressing forward. So yeah, let's go back and see how it all started. So the first thing I had to do was just create a cube and then give it a rigid body. I give it a rigid body because rigid bodies has easy physics implementation that I could use right away. So because I'm creating a wall running type game, I know I'm gonna really use a lot of physics. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I chose rigid bodies. So it was time to make the cube move. So do notice the clipping effects. Yeah, that was something that I was really unable to fix at the time, unlike now. So we'll all have to live with that for the cube. Sorry. So after getting the movement working, I implemented jumping for the cube. And do notice like I said the player is gonna have a superpower which is mainly going to be super jumping, but if you do notice the cube doesn't really have super jumping. That is because I'm gonna focus on the jumping in the future. I'm just using this as placeholders. So when I got the basic game fundamentals working well, I knew I should tackle something really annoying, which was, the wall running. I had no idea where to start because I've never done it before. So I tried searching on YouTube and quite frankly, there's not really any good tutorial on wall running on YouTube. So I skipped YouTube and moved to Google, trying to check out some website that has, documentations of wall running, and I found one. And trust me, it wasn't easy to even find that single one website. It's really annoying because they didn't even explain a single line of code. You had to turn every word into code, which was very difficult for me to do. But I ended up doing it, but it wasn't easy though. Yeah, it's difficult. It's extremely difficult. So that's why I told myself that in the future, I want to invest my time in creating a very well documented and simple tutorial on how to do a wall running, because I understand how annoying it could be to look for something and you just can't find it, or when you find it, it's not just easy to work with. So that's I'm gonna release a tutorial, and if that's something you'll be willing to see or interested to watch, you can just hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for it. It's gonna come out probably this year or something. Got the wall running working, but it doesn't really. It's not like it doesn't gain velocity like it's supposed to. But I was happy with my progress and decided to complete it later. And so I created a new Unity project in URP and added a model. And there comes my next big project. Character controllers or rigid body. Believe it or not, where I went back and forth with rigid body and character controllers like 7 times. It never settled with rigid body, because I later remembered why I got started with it in the first place. So I'm so dumb. And so I implemented the basic game fundamentals, which are movement and jumping, except that I can't reverse or move backwards. But there's an easy fix. I totally know what's. And I probably know what you're thinking, and it's that this model looks whack. And yeah, so I changed it. Phew, thank God for that. And then yes, animations too. As you can see, there are animations. And at last I implemented wall running for the model, which was also questionable at first. Then I did a little coding and changed some things, and yeah, it's working fine. Except the wall run jump. I'll implement that in a future episode because it's kind of giving me some annoying results, so I'll just leave that for future me to fix. And that brings us back to. And though my game isn't really as pretty and as beautiful as you might think, you might probably hate it because of the looks, but at least the idea is there. And that's what I'm heading for, so I could say I'm heading towards the right direction. But when time comes, the game's gonna look more pretty than that. It's gonna look very beautiful. Those are my biggest challenges are many. Like there's the map I have to create, there's the character model, the animation, wall running. Most importantly, the wall running, not this crouching animation thing. If you think about it, you notice my wall running is mainly focused on the left side of the player. But that's because of testing purposes. Don't worry, in the future you're gonna see a better wall running system, I promise. This one just looks super whack. Don't worry, there's a better one coming in the future. Stay tuned for that. Although I think all these are challenges for me to conquer, but I'm also having massive fun doing all of this and learning new stuff in the process. To me, it's all going to be a fun experience because I really love coding and game development as a whole. Like, this is like a dream come true to me, doing game development. I just love it. But for me to be able to show it on YouTube is just a big privilege. Like, I really thank everything that I have to be able to do all this, and everyone that encouraged me to doing all this. It's really fun. And yes, I might not really find the time to do all this because of certain things like school and other important stuff that I have to take care of. But don't worry, I always spend my idle time getting back on my system and working on the game, which is like pretty much every day. Yeah, there's no day I don't work on my game. Yeah, so I have your mind rested because I don't slack off. I'm a hard worker. Yeah. And I also think making these devlog videos is going to help with me staying fully focused and consistent on the game. And if you want to come along and join me on this journey, then you are very, 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 very welcome to do so here on YouTube in my channel. Or you can follow me on Twitter to stay up to date on the progress which I'll be posting about every day. Yeah, that is if I have something to show. If I don't have something to show, probably even for a whole week, I might not even post anything. But yeah, I'll try to do new things every day so I can update you guys on what's going on. So that's really all I think I want to talk about in this very first introduction episode, and hopefully, just hopefully, there'll be another episode by next week or probably not too long, and I'll see you.